Slava Isus Christus, Slava Navika, glory be to Jesus Christ, glory be forever. Father Bezim Lovani again. Hope everyone is doing well wherever they're listening from. And remember the last few days I've been talking about the sinful vices in our life, what we call the deadly sins, those sins that have, very bad effects upon us, separate us from the love of God, separate us from love of neighbor, and make us, selfish, really. And some of the sins that I've talked about are gluttony and lust and anger and things like that. And today I want to talk about a sin that's probably not as well known as those other ones I've been talking about, and it's called listlessness. So what is listlessness? And the name that some Eastern Orthodox theologians call it by is akadia, and that is listlessness. And what it really means is we are spiritually lazy. That's one of the meanings that we could put on that, our spiritual laziness. And, this means that we don't 100% strive for God's love and mercy. We don't strive for spiritual perfection. We are so overwhelmed by the things of this world. We are so overwhelmed by our monetary things, by the earthly things, that sometimes we just don't pay attention to our life in God. It's not that we don't always, there are people in this world who are baptized Christians, who are good people, who are, are, according to the worldly values, they, are considered normal, decent, hardworking people in this world. But they are missing something in their life. They are missing that life in the Trinity. They are missing that life in prayer. They are missing that life as following God's will and being generous and loving to one another. And when we are listless, when we have this laziness and spirituality, we don't have peace in our heart. We try and try and try to have the things of this world to make us happy. We try and try and try to, get as much money as we can, get as much resources as we can, have financial security, and all that stuff is fine. But when we focus only on that, we are missing the point of our life. We are missing the point of God creating us. And we become less peaceful in that way because we're always trying to get more and more and more. We are never happy with what we have. We are never happy with what God has provided us. And that's really the devil's temptations making us want more than what God has given us, and we can never be peaceful in that instance. We don't have the peace of our soul. So in order to have the peace of our soul, in order to be satisfied with what God has given to us, in order to be happy, really happy in this world, not happy just because of our financial and monetary possessions, but actually spiritually happy, we have to do what God is asking us to do. Prayer. Prayer every single day. Helping one another. Doing good works for one another. Not complaining about other people. Not complaining about our situation in life. Fasting is another thing. We forget about that. We have so much in this world that we often forget why we are here. And we are here to serve God. We are here to serve one another. To be servants. What is it to be a servant? Doesn't mean to be a slave. It doesn't mean that we don't have free will. We still have free will. We still have freedom of choice to do what we want. But when we use that freedom of choice to serve others, when we use that freedom of choice to be generous to others, to be, to be loving, to be kind and compassionate, to be merciful, then we're going to have peace of heart. We're going to have that spiritual grace upon us that will help us to get to the heavenly kingdom. So it's really our choice in life. It's tough to be called spiritually lazy, but that's what we are. And sometimes as a priest, I just have to say what is reality. Our society is very spiritually lazy. We are very, very lazy in our spiritual lives. And even myself as a priest, there are days when it's so hard to do my daily prayers and to do my hours and to do my prayer services. You're tired, you're overwhelmed, you want to do something else, you want to relax. But we can't let the devil's temptations get to us. We can't let the devil control our relationship with God. We can't do that, So we have to do better in our spiritual lives. We have to do better in our focus on our life. If we only focus on the things of this earth, if we only are focused on our worldly possessions, we are missing the point. We are missing the point of being alive in this world. And again, because at the end of our life, at the final judgment, God's not going to ask us how much money we had. God's not going to ask us what kind of car we drove or what kind of house we lived in. He's going to ask us, what did we do with our resources we were given to help one another? That's what he's going to ask us. He's going to ask us, how did we use the resources of this earth to help one another in this world? What are we going to answer him? What are we going to say? Are we going to say, well, I was too lazy to go to church on Sunday. I'd rather go fishing. I'd rather go hunting. I'd rather go to the lake and to the beach and to enjoy my life. I was a good person. I didn't really harm anyone. Well, are we a good person? If we didn't harm anyone, then why, if we thought we were good people, why weren't we praying for other people? Why weren't we praying and giving or being generous to those who had less than us? Did we do that? That's something for us to answer by ourselves. Okay? So this is listlessness. 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 Spiritual laziness. And we have to be very, very careful in not letting the devil tempt us with this. Because it's so easy, like I said, to say, well, I'm too busy to be in a relationship with God. I'm too busy to help others. I'm too busy to be a churchgoer. But I'm a good person. What is a good person? A good person is someone who thinks of others before themselves. A good person is someone who prays for others. It's a good person. All right? Anyways, God bless you today. Have a great day.